Please welcome LGBT equality activist Dustin Lance Black.
Oh my God, that kid was amazing. How do you follow that? Congratulations to him. All right, I'm gonna get right into it then. At the center of the stories nominated for Outstanding Digital Journalism article are people whose stories and struggles and successes could very well be our own. And several of these stories focus on tensions that take place in the sports world. Now, I've seen all of these pieces, and they're all incredibly moving. There's one in particular that sticks out tonight, and that's the story of 21-year-old Brendan Burke. He's a very talented hockey player and an advocate for lesbian and gay equality. Tragically, Brendan and his friend were killed in a car accident a few weeks ago. But we will always remember the courage of athletes like Brendan who choose to come out in an atmosphere that is often so difficult. And by the example, yes. And also be inspired by the example of the teammates and fans who bravely support these out athletes. And now, the award for Outstanding Digital Journalism article. The nominees are
Outstanding Digital Journalism article. Former college football captain was openly gay. Outsports.com. My experience will be the norm soon. Pretty soon, it's not going to matter if you're a gay guy on a football team, and your parents aren't going to freak out if they find out you're gay. Will it be different? Interesting? Yes. But it's so close to not being an issue, and I want to push us beyond that point. McMacken slur reveals larger problem. ESPN.com. There are a fair number of gay people in the sports media who are afraid to come out at work because they don't want to be targeted by their peers, or they have reasons to believe it will negatively affect their careers. They're not fighting for the starting quarterback position. They're cameramen, producers, and journalists. Having been in this business almost 15 years now, I can tell you that it is hardly a unique situation. On the road to refuge. ColorLines.com. Reverend Brown's passionate weekly sermons indicate that this ain't your granddaddy's Pentecost. Brown preaches the controversial doctrine of radical inclusion, an emerging philosophy that aims to provide safe, affirming space for those wounded by oppressive traditional religion. There are so many congregations where LGBT persons are forced to check an essential part of their being at the door, while their gifts and talents are exploited, he says. We love you, this won't change a thing. ESPN.com. It's important to you that people know that even the president and general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs has a gay son and is a firm supporter of gay rights. I wish this burden would fall on someone else's shoulders, not Brendan's. Pioneers are often misunderstood and mistrusted, but since he wishes to blaze this trail, I stand beside him with an axe. I simply could not be more proud of Brendan than I am, and I love him as much as I admire him. Brian Burke. Why can't you just butch up? Gay man effeminacy and our war with ourselves. AfterElton.com. We do have a lot of effeminate men in our community. I celebrate the fact that they are willing and able to be exactly who they are. When we as a community tear each other down because of the fact that some of the members of our community feel they can be whoever they are in public, then we have lost the whole purpose of our movement. Why can't effeminate men butch it up? That's the question everyone wants to ask, but it's the wrong one. The right question is, why should they have to?
The GLAAD Media Award for Outstanding Digital Article goes to, it says it's a tie. It's a tie between Why Can't You Just Butch Up, Gay Men, Effeminacy, and Our War with Ourselves, AfterElton.com, and We Love You, This Won't Change a Thing, ESPN.com. Accepting for Why Can't You Just Butch Up, Gay Men, Effeminacy, and Our War with Ourselves is Brett Hartinger from AfterElton.com.
I have perhaps the best job in the world in that I get paid to research things that I think are interesting, and then I get to share what I've learned with the world. This article was particularly rewarding because it was about how some gay men are traditionally masculine and some gay men are more effeminate, why they are the way they are, and how sometimes there's conflict between the two groups. So I'm thrilled. This is humbling and thrilling. Thank you so much for GLAAD for recognizing this article and for all of the work that you do. I want to thank my sources. I talked to a lot of different people. I want to thank my editor, Michael Jensen, who also happens to be my partner, which makes for some interesting dinners, although we do tend to compartmentalize, so it's not a bad thing. I want to thank Sarah Warren, who founded a website, AfterElton.com. She also founded AfterEllen.com, which is devoted to original reporting and analysis. I also want to thank Logo and MTV for giving us the resources to do serious journalism. I don't want to scare you away from the site. We also try to do some fun things. For this article, I spent a fair amount of time thinking about what a man is, and here's what I came up with. A man is whatever the man in question says it is. There are as many different kinds of men as there are men, and real strength and real masculinity comes from being able to truly understand and accept what seems to me a very simple truth. Thanks very much, and I want to say, Michael, I want to raise.
And accepting for We Love You, This Won't Change a Thing is John Butchergross from ESPN.com and Patrick Burke.
Hi, my name is John Butchergross. I wrote the piece, although I didn't really write the piece. It was written by Brendan, his father, his brother Patrick, who's behind me. And it's been an emotional night, and this certainly is an emotional story. And, of course, the tragedy that you heard about of Brendan passing away in a car crash in early February makes this extra emotional tonight. From my angle, in terms of the piece, I want to thank Joey Russo, Andy Wall, and really ESPN. ESPN's a great place to work, and if I've been there 13, 14 years now, and if someone chose to come out there, they would have support, and they would have love, and they would have acceptance on that day. And I'm proud to say that. This is Patrick Burke behind me. He's Brendan's brother.
Thank you. I'd like to start by doing what I think Brendan would have wanted and thanking my mother. This piece was on the love between the piece, because of my father's fame, focused mostly on the love between my dad and Brendan. But anyone who knows our family knows that my mother is a very special lady, a wonderful lady. So, Mom, this is for you. I'd then like to thank John and everyone at ESPN.com. This was a tough piece for him to write, I imagine, and in the wrong hands, it could have been not nearly as effective. And then finally, this is a very bittersweet night for the Burke family. We're obviously very proud that Brendan's courage and the impact he made are being celebrated here tonight, and we're just sad because we know how much he would have loved to be here with us. From my perspective, as was mentioned before, my father works for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I work for the Philadelphia Flyers. And as I was thinking about something I might say tonight if we won, I thought I might touch on homophobia in sports and try and speak to the other members of the sports industry here tonight. And when I was looking at the list of attendees and nominees, I found that we are shockingly underrepresented here. And I promise on behalf of the Burke family that we're going to continue Brendan's work to make sure that in an age when sports dominates a significant portion of the media, that we no longer neglect or marginalize a significant portion of our community. Brendan's message was of love and inclusion, and we're going to carry that on. Thank you.